Hello Doraemons, welcome back to my channel. So I think it has been a while that I uploaded a video, and how are you guys? Hope everyone is fine. And yeah, I have a good news for you guys because one of my subscribers who followed my video also have passed all the cases and in the IRA, and they have got the incentive. So it's so happy to hear people have been watching my videos and getting to know and able to solve the questions asked in IRA. I'm so thankful for you guys. Thank you so much for letting me know. And yeah, so with that motivation, let's get started with this video. So for this video, I have something special. So if you have been following my channel, then you might have known about, I've already posted a video on how to crack IRA or CPA with no coding, or like without coding anything in the SBQ. So today I'm going to show you a live demonstration of how to do it. So I took a question which is asked recently on 28th February. Of course, I'll post the solution of this question, but before that, even without reading the question, I'm going to show you how you can at least pass two cases with which you can get 20 marks in Python and also in the UNIX. So UNIX, if you solve like two cases, you'll get 5 marks, and if you score well in the MCQs, you may definitely get 55 marks for sure, and that will gain you a 20k incentive. So yeah, so this video is going to be a live demonstration of how to do it. If you people haven't not gone through my videos, I will be explaining everything inch by inch in this video. So if you follow this video properly, then I think you can be able to solve at least one case in Python and UNIX part, and all at least get 12 to 13 marks from those things. And if you attend the MCQs properly and sincerely, you can get at least 55 marks. So as I say, this method will only work if you concentrate more on the MCQs. So if you weren't confused about where to learn the MCQs, I've already posted a video on most important MCQs, and also that is available in my blog. Yeah, and the website is got updated, so you'll be getting all the questions as soon as possible in my blog post, so that you can even practice over the things. Once I'm ready, I'll show my blog website in the video, and I have a plan of embedding the compiler also in my website, so you don't have to search for an online compiler and then typing the code. So you can type in the same website itself and run your code. And yeah, so yeah, I'm working so hard for you guys, so please consider subscribing to my channel and hit the like button if you like this video. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. I've already talked a lot. Okay, so I've showed you without even reading the question. So I'm not going to read the question. I'm just showing you I've taken the 28th February question. I've not yet read the question yet. So I'm going to just lively solve this for you guys. So let's directly go to the input and output. As I always say, if you want to solve something, just look at the sample input and output. So here they usually provide two cases, which is sample 1 and sample 2. So yeah, so basically they give two numbers to us. Let's consider it as 1 and 2, and they give us a name. So this is going to be the structure for the object, and we have 4 sets like this. So yeah, who? Yes, I think this is Yan, and this represents the number of things, and it's going to 1 Edward and 3, and 4 Pharaohs and 2, and 3 Janet and 1, and 2 Thomas and 1. So what we're going to do is, all the numbers which is listed over here is taken and printed over here, whereas 1 is printed with medium and 2, 3, 4 are printed with high. So all the numbers given over expect this for is 1, 2, 3, 4. They got repeated number of times, but they are not repeated here. There is just 4 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have to collect the unique numbers, and here which has high is, and you can see over here which all has high is mentioned as closed over here. So seems like this needs to be stored somewhere in an object structure and then it should be accessed, and here also they have passed as high. So I think whichever high over here should be marked as closed, and if it's not high it should be marked as open. So this is what I guess for this sample case, and we'll look into the next one. Yeah, so here you want to take a chance, just pause the video and look into the sample case and then try to figure out like what is your idea, what idea you are getting about this input. And yeah, just take a time, pause this video and do it. I'll keep this freezed for just 2 seconds and then we'll go on. Done. So now over here you can see the same thing. Over here it is given as low. Unfortunately there is nothing marked as low over here, so it is printed like oops, no record found. And yeah, so let's start with our coding. So I'm just going to take this yen, and this is number 1 name and number 2. Let's do that. So if you guys have been following my videos, you know the basic structure which needs to be followed for this Python question. So let's get started. I'm going to type the main class, the object class first, and then the main class. So object and def of init and self, and here I'm going to basically pass 3 things, which is a number 1 name, I'm just going to give yen, and number 2. So this is what is going to be here, and I'm declaring it inside this object function. Self of num1 is equal to num1, and self of dot it's yen, and yeah, again self dot num2 is equal to num2. Yeah, our object class is done. So now we are going to the main class main, and here we are going to again declare this init. And whenever you declare a class, this self function is required, and here we'll pass a list called elist. These things you know already if you have been following my videos. If not, at least please try to memorize it. So no matter what question is asked, this pattern is not going to change. So here I'm going to put self, fun1 self, and just put pass, and again fun2, and then pass. So why we are declaring this is this object class. Whenever you are passed with an input set in an IRA, you should declare an object structure. So to create an object structure, we'll be using this one, and after creating the object structure, nothing can be performed over the data in this class itself. So we have to pass it to another class, that is this main class, and in this function we can just access this object structure in a kind of a list, as like how you usually iterate through a list, like that you can iterate through the object structure in this main class. So in this only we'll be defining basically 2 functions. As you can see over here, this output can be segregated into 2 parts, where this high 1 medium can be segregated into first set of output, and this part can be segregated into second part of output. So this each part is done by 2 functions. The first part should be done by function 1, and the second part should be done by function 2. So in the question they'll give different names, said you to declare in that name, but that's not necessary to follow those instructions exactly. You can give whatever name you want. If you want, you can give the same name too, but it is a lot of time consuming and it is a lot of typing. So to avoid wastage of time, you can minimize the things like this, and if you memorize it, you will type it fast. So if you want to pass the IRA, you have to memorize it. Even you can take that big papers. I don't know, maybe you can do it. And here we are going to declare the main thing, where we are going to get the input and pass it on to the objects class. So if name, this is the main function, name is equal to main, it's fine. Firstly, I'm going to get yun is equal to int of input, and before everything of this you have to declare a list. So using this list only, we'll be passing these values which we got as an input to that object class. So flist, and this is the syntax to declare an empty list, as you all guys already know. For I in n in range of n, as it is a number n, so we are going to get 3 inputs, which is number 1, name, and number 2. So I'm going to give n1 is equal to int of input, and I'm going to give the name is equal to input, sorry, it's not int of input, it's input, and this is again int of input. Yeah, so now we got the 3 inputs, and now we have to pass these on to the object function. So how we'll do that is, as usually how you append anything to your list, we'll use flist.append, and in this place we'll be calling that object function. Object of, we have to pass the names which is declared over here. I'm on n1 and name and n2. So after passing this, these names will not be used over here to reference it. Hereafter these names will be used to reference these ones. So n1 will be called as num1, and name will be called as yun, and n2 will be called as num2. After this, we want to get one more input, I guess, after this, whether it is high or low. So make sure you do it out of the loop. So I'm just giving it name as yes equal to input, and yeah, that's it. So this is the basic thing which you need to type, like, as this is the part which you want to memorize. This exact thing needs to be at least memorized. Without memorizing you can't do anything. Okay, so the input part is also done. Now we have to only perform the operations. So now I'm going to just run this elist and show you how it would look. So before that, let me pass the inputs and just quickly copy paste it from here. Yeah, okay, so let's try to run it, and let's put a print success to check everything is in place. Always do your code step by step, because it helps you enormously to avoid errors. Okay, so as of now we don't have any errors in our code, and it is going to work fine, perfectly. Let's go into the next part. So firstly, we are going to get the unique numbers. Do you know how to get the unique numbers? No. If yes, comment it down. And what is your method of getting unique numbers from a list? If not, I'll show you one, you can learn from it. So here I'm going to just iterate through the elist. So this is how for I in self.elist, and this list will be hereafter identified as self.elist. Okay, and here we have to declare an object is equal to, here we'll call the main class. So every class should have an object. I think you know this, flist, and we have to call it, so obj.fun1 and obj.fun2. So if not called, you will not get the output, so it will give you an error. Make sure you do not forget this. This also should be memorized. This is like 20 lines of code which need to be memorized. I think it's not that hard. So I'm just going to show you how you can access the values. So as of how you will usually access the values in a list, you will got I and you will print it, but here as we have 3 things stored in a single place, we are going to use i.num1 and i.yun and num2. So now let's see. Can you see? Here I've given it as 1 Edward 3, 4 Feroz 2, 3 Janat 1, and 2 Thomas 1. So it got things like that. So now we have to get only the unique numbers. I think in the first thing itself we get the unique numbers. So I'm just going to create a small list over here, and yeah. So what shall we name it? So we'll name it as numList, and we're going to declare it as mList. And here instead of print, I'm going to append only the first numbers because it itself have 1, 2, 3, 4. If you want, you can add all the entire numbers, and then you can get the unique numbers too. But I suggested you're adding all numbers because it would not be same in all case. So I'm just going to add the both numbers also. So I'm going to give like numList dot append of I dot num1, and here again I'm going to just copy paste it. Code is log copy pasting, and just change it into num2. So now our numList will have all the numbers. Let's print and see. Print of numList, and let's check. Yeah, so now we have all the numbers. Now we have to get only the unique numbers. So how you can do that is you can put it into a set. If you guys don't know about set is used to get only the unique numbers. As you can see, it has got the unique numbers, and again we're going to put it as numList is equal to set of numList. So the set is usually represented by this curly braces. So if you want to iterate through it, you have to again change it into a list. So now we can iterate through this numList. So now I'm going to do for I in numList, and what we want to do, if it is greater than 1, then all should be high. If it is not greater than, if it is less than 1, then it should be printed as medium. So let's do that. So I'm going to, if I is greater than 1, then we are going to print I space. So if you want to embed space, you can do like this, I space, I comma space comma, and we are going to type the medium. So let's type it medium. Oops, if it is greater than 1, it should be high, right? So it's high, and the else part, if it should be greater than 1, then it should be high, else it should be medium. So let's print I commas, give a space, and then type as medium. I know this is a lot of work, but when compared to solving every question, at least getting 2 cases passed would be a little more easier for you guys. Okay, so now we got one set of output. Now we got to get the another set of output. So this needs to be stored over here. How you can do that is you can declare one more like self dot give a name and like store something as 0 or something over there, and then you have to change it in this place where self dot the name is equal to high or medium, like that. So let's not do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just put the same condition. If it is greater than 1, then I'm going to print it as open, and if it is less than 1, I'm going to print as closed. So I'm not going to use this function too. In this here itself, I'm going to do that. So again, I'm going to copy paste this thing. So how easy it is, just copy pasting. And here we are going to put it as open, and over here I'm going it as medium. So let's do that. Yeah, so now okay, it should be closed, so let's do that. Now run it. Done. So here, as I didn't remove fun2, it's showing an error. I'm going to just remove this object fun2 also. Just run it. Yeah, so now we have, yes, I think I've done it oppositely. So let's fix that quickly. Closed and open. And yeah, run. That's it. So one test case tick. So now we are going for the another test case which is given over here. What basically is done over here is, it is said no record found and it is given as low. As you can see, there is nothing which goes to low. So what we are going to do here is, here I'm going to just put one more if over here. So if this one which we got, I'm going to pass it into function 1, just s, and here I'm going to get it in the name of same s. I'm going to give yes dot lower is equal to low, just considering for this case. If it is low, then we should print like oops, no record found. Like this. So this is not totally hard coding, but it is not also solving the exact thing, but this may be considered for the incentives. Instead of hard coding everything, this may be considered as a little try, and you may be given some incentive based on this. And if it is else, then we are going to do this thing. So let's make a space over here. Yeah, so now it's done. I'm going to run it. The first test case passed, and here if I pass as low, now run it. Oops, no record found. So after this, we are going to break the loop. Ooh. Yeah, so before the for itself, we are going to place this, or you can break it also. So yeah, we can break that itself. And I'm going to put this inside it, so that let's do that real quick. I'm going to put it over here for, and I'm going to tap it again, and this thing I'm going to remove the spaces. Let's remove the spaces manually. I'll paste it. Yeah, now it's done. I'm unrunning it. It got thing correct. So if you go through the question, I think you can even solve the exact question. I think this is a very easy question. So just to show you and demo about these things, I'm just showing this thing. And yeah, I think here it got missed with one value, which is 3. So let's add it. Thomas N3, yeah, over here. Thomas N1, now run it. Yeah, the first test case is a tick and the second case is also a tick. So I'm going to show you the same, how to pass at least 2 test cases in Unix 2 with an very important command. If you are not here for like cracking only 2 test cases but you want to act smart too, this Unix question would help you. So let's move on to the Unix question. I'll quickly switch to the Unix compiler and then I'll be back. And yeah, I am back. So this is the question asked on 28th February Unix part. This question was asked on the Python part, as the Python question for the SPQ is asked very simple. They wanted a twist on the Unix part. So this Unix part question, I think no one has found a solution for this question because it's quite a little like more things to be done in this query, but I'm going to show you how you can solve at least 2 cases with just a single line of code in bash. So all of you who have been following my videos from the start, you might have known about, like not from the start, like the past 2 to 3 videos, you might have known about a command called grep. So what this grep will do, it will compare the word which is given over here, and then it will return the sentence or the line which contains of that particular string. So if I pass like this two over here, and if I run it, you can see as C is over here, it prints Coca-Cola. And in this question, what it was asked is, if you find the more repetitive letters, then that should be avoided and you should print hello. So this is what the thing is. So here you can like try to count. Here there is an command called WC. If you are looking for O, there is a command called WC-L, which will count the number of letters. No, this will count the number of lines, and there is a thing called character C, -C, which will count the characters. So you can see which is 15. So this O means it will print the Coca-Cola and hello. So on total 6, and this will be printing 15. So yeah. So as this is not required, so as like this, it has to go through a lot of pipes to arrive at this thing, but I'm going to show you how you can get it. So this is not the sample input and output. I'll show you the sample input and output. So this is the sample input and output. So they have given 5 values in this, and they in this thing there is responsible, colleague, poison, possession, and there is one word missed, which is seasonal. Let me add it real quick. And then possession. So these are the 5 words which is given on the sample input, and here this possession has the yes for the highest number of times. So this word got omitted, and this and other things got printed. And in the sample input 2 also, they have given the words like possession with S in capital, and the poison, it should return like poison. So these are the 2 test cases. So in the 2 test cases given, if you are smart, you might have noticed this possession word got repeated. So you might have think like, I'm going to like get the possession using the grep, and then I'm going to ignore the thing. So most of you know about this -I, grep -I, and here if I give possession, it will compare and return the word without considering the case. So this here, there is no possession, so I'm just going to replace it with this sample input which is available. So let me do that real quick. Yes. So now if I run, you can see only possession, but we don't want this possession to be printed. So what we can do is we have to avoid this possession and print all other. So for that, what you can do is you can choose there is a simple command called as -v, which will ignore this possession, and just for the time being I'll just delete this I, and let's run and see it. Boom, our first output is ready. So you won't believe, by only this thing you might get 2 to 3 marks in Unix just for 3 words. Can you believe? And one more advantage we got over here is the second sample input and output also has the word of possession, but here the capital is, it is given in capital. So I'm going to just replace these S's into capital, and let's see what will happen. Now I'm going to run it. It printed possession because we have not given capital S over here. So if you want to be it to be done case insensitive, and you might have known about -I, but here you can't give a space -I. That is wrong. So instead what you can do is you can directly put -vi. So this will compare word possession without the case. So now I'm going to run it, and what you can see is it ignored possession. So it's not that the case you should type this entire word, and if you just look into these things, you can see the double s is only repeating, and this double s is not available in any other word. So if you are like lazy printing this possession, typing this possession, you can just put SNS. This will also work very fine. So yeah, and that's it for this video. How is the video? Like, let me know in the comments. Like, this is the most easiest way which you can use. I've given like you can use this type of things to at least pass 2 to 3 cases, or in case you get a tough question and you're not able to figure it out, you can do like this. But don't ever hard code anything in your code. If it is detected as hard coded, then you will be booked as malpractice, or you may not, that attempt may not be considered. Even if you work on the MCQs, that attempt will get disqualified, and that is most disheartening. So don't ever hard code anything in your code. Try to make it as it runs. So if you have been following my videos, I know like some subscribers have passed all the test cases from my videos. So if you watch my videos, I think that is more than enough to pass an IRA. So practice all the questions. As the website got ready, I'll be posting all the questions on the previous year. It has been long that I posted the questions, and after embedding the compiler, you can even practice in my website itself. So I'm making the things easier for you guys. So please hit the subscribe button. It will support me a lot. And if you like this video, hit on the bell icon, and yeah, share it with your friends who are learning for the IRA. So how was this video? Let me know down in the comments. And some people have been asking, like I've received a lot of DMs to help with the errors and those things, so I couldn't reply to all of you guys. Sorry for that, because I've been busy with my work and also with this thing on posting videos, so I couldn't reply to all of you. The only thing is I've given all the things in my group, so you can check over that. And yeah, and if I reach like a good amount of subscribers, I think I'll be helping some of you guys taking like personal classes. If you want to enroll into like personal classes for either Java or Python, you can let me know that in the comments, so that I'm not sure about if personal classes will work out. So yeah, I need your guys suggestions to hang on with the personal classes. Like, you may enroll into it and you may practice under my guidance if you want. So comment it down whether that needs to be done. And yeah, so I'm not going to post a thing on grep, because if I give a lot of comments in a single video, it is not going to help you. Too much of thing is not sufficient to consume, and you will forget it easily. So I will let you know about each and every comment when it is used in a question, so that makes you remember it for a longer amount of time, and when it is asked in the exam, you can remember it easily. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you guys liked it, and yeah, this is your very own code Doraemon signing off. And yeah, keep learning, keep rocking. Peace out, cheers, bye.